Hey, what's going on, guys? Explicit back here with another video. This one's gonna be a quicker video because I'm gonna do a little Barbarian streaming. Sorry about my volume in the back. Let me get this all set up. I did have a comment asking what build I'm using. Using inspired by Rob2628's Quake HotA Barb. I did make a few changes to what he has. The main thing that I changed is I'm still using Fierce Winds as one of my aspects because it's making my Dust Devils get bigger and also have another multiplier on them. And one of my witch powers that I'm using Grow, and that's making my Call of the Ancients huge because they're considered a summon. So basically, let me come down here into Kilbashad. If you're wondering why that socket was empty in that ring, that's because I had to switch it over to my Necro. I'm going to be doing a lot of Necro streaming today after this video. So if you guys want to catch the Bloodwave Necro, we're already in pit 122. I don't even have masterworked gear on every item. Like my amulet's not touched, my chest piece isn't touched. I still have a ring that's not even a GA item, and that Necro is way stronger than my Barb. So just to show you guys, like if you take Grow off, where is Grow? There it is. So I'm gonna take Grow off and then watch the size of the Call of the Ancients, like as I stand next to them. So see how they're almost, same size as me, pretty much. Oh, those numbers you see also, those are just my Dust Devils. And also the aura, because you don't actually see the damage numbers from Quake. My Quakes have to be doing way more damage than anything else. And that's mainly in part due to this node right here, Heavy Hitter. I actually have I've been experimenting, running around with this other mace that I have. Let's see, where did I put it? I gotta reorganize my stuff. I finally got some mythics to drop. I actually got the Melted Heart of Selig first, and I broke that down. I finished the seasonal quest, or the season journey, and got a Resplendent Spark from there. I also killed Lilith, got the spark, and we finished the Witch's Coven, and we got a spark there. But there was another mace that I was kind of like running around with, testing the two, if I can find it. There it is. Yeah, and this one has more ranks to Heavy Hitter. I kind of do like the chance for earthquakes to cast twice. The main reason that I like that is I have it on a lot of my other gear as well. And then I put Heavy Hitter on this sword. But I had it on all three, so it was 100% chance for earthquakes to cast twice. And the more earthquakes you have out, the better, because you're dealing increased damage and you're also getting a damage excuse me, a damage reduction. So that was pretty nice. But yeah, to go back to the Grow, so it does work on your Call of the Ancients. You can see the size of these Ancients are about my size, and then when we put Grow back on, they get huge. Oh yeah, I did get Piranado last night, so I'm going to put that back on. So now when we cast Call the Ancients, I mean, they're just massive. And it's putting another multiplier on them. So they're already getting some damage from the Ariat's Bearing Pants. And then every time we cast an ultimate skill, or is that Behemoth? Yeah. It's increasing all damage. And then, like I was showing in this this board right here, this Heavy Hitter node, the ultimate Earthquakes and Dust Devils are dealing more. So I like to, buff them even more with the Grow, because if you look, Grow, it's another 45% multiplicative increase in damage, and then 100% crit chance for them. So that's why I went with Grow on my witch board, or witch powers, because those ancients are just massive and they're dealing a lot of damage. Like when I'm in the higher pits, they're hitting for billions. My twisters are hitting for billions, or the dust devils, they're hitting for billions. Still not as strong as the necro, but it's a lot of fun, especially speed farming. So if you guys aren't trying to push pit, this build is amazing. It clears everything in the game, from Duriel to Lilith to anything, excuse me, anything Torment 4 has to offer. In the pit, I think I capped out for gear wise and Paragon board and glyph wise. I pushed up to 108 with the Barbarian, and it took me almost the whole 15 minutes to clear it. So that's when I was like, all right, switched back to my necro and did a little bit more pushing on the necro. Don't really know what I still need for this, like Paragon wise. We could pick up some more additive damage or something, or some additive damage reductions, but let's see, what is this node? Is that in range? Yep. And we'll probably just grab this these 3 right here when we get 3 more points. That's just gonna boost up our territorial a little bit more. But yeah, with this build, you pretty much have Call of the Ancients permanently. See, I already have it back. They're still on the battlefield. They're off the battlefield. I cast it again. And when you have enemies around you, your cooldowns on your shouts are going to come back a lot faster. You get your kickback really fast to spawn more earthquakes. And I don't have an Uber or a Mythic for this character yet. I tried to craft Harlequin Crest. I got Andariel's. Got Doombringer and Air Perdition and the Melted Heart from actually running these. So if you guys are having issues, if you have the DLC, where is the tribute? Oh, I think I have it on my other character. If you get those unique tributes that you use in the Undercity for the DLC, the ones where you go into here, it's like right here. If you get those, I was out of 4 runs, I got 3 mythic uniques in there using the Resolute ones. So definitely, if you guys need some Ubers, you could do it that way. I did get one from Varshan, but it took about, I don't know, 40 or 50, kills of Varshan to get one to drop. And then I ran Duriel 35 times and got 0. So then that's when I went into the Undercity. But just to give you guys an idea how strong these ancients are. I know this is the overworld, but again, this is more of a speed farming build anyways. You can just run, everything behind you is dead. And you can come back through these areas and pick up all your Restless Rot, pick up all your gold, all your items that you may have missed. And see, they're on the battlefield. They're gone. I can cast them immediately again. You shout near some enemies. Stomp. Cast them again. So you really don't even need an attack. You have HotA to blow up all of your earthquakes, but I mean, you don't need to use it. You can just rely on the Call of the Ancients, or Coda, I guess is what some people are calling it. Makes sense though. Hammer the Ancients, Call of the Ancients, Coda, HotA. But it's a very fast build that you can just run through these whole areas. As you can see, my Grim Favors, we've already finished the Witch's Coven, so now it's 3,000 Grim Favors. Level 20 is only 2,300, so 2,300. But once you get up past that, it starts to just jump up for extra rewards. But you get a guaranteed Resplendent Spark from that as well. So there's 3 guaranteed ones that I'm aware of: the Season Journey, the Witch's Coven, and Lilith. I'm not sure if there's another guaranteed one or not though. But yeah, that's why we are rocking Call of the Ancients, and we're putting a lot more into their damage, and still, not sacrificing our Dust Devil damage, because Dust Devils just clear out the trash mobs. And if you don't have the Piranha Tornado, the Piranado, whatever you want to pronounce that, if you don't have that one yet, this one works awesome. The Vengeful Spirit, especially when you get it to max rank, it mainly just saves you. You know, if you were gonna die, you know, because I used that in combination, so that by itself isn't gonna save you. But this one right here, if you have a summon witch power, which that one counts as a summon, if you were gonna die, you get a barrier equal to 100% of your max life. So that's gonna be a 15,000 hit point barrier. It can only happen every 75 seconds, but you should be back to, you know, not being in trouble if you're, as long as you're not in too high of a pit. Turn these in. Yeah, it's pretty much how the build operates. You just run around, shout, kick, create earthquakes. Oh, I also have this on right now, which is different from his build guide. Is if I avoid health damage while fighting for 2 seconds, I immediately get an earthquake. And with the chance for earthquakes to cast twice as much as I have, it's, you know, normally going to be 2 earthquakes, and then anything that's standing in those just they evaporate. It just makes it to where, I mean, because you can see me just running around. You see how many earthquakes are just every 2 seconds. I'm spawning an earthquake for free, and then if I want to, I can turn around, smack it with HotA. You know, throw some Call of the Ancients around, run through, pick up some loot. It's a very fun, fast-paced build for everything except the pit. In the pit, I need to make some adjustments for more DPS and less focus on the Dust Devils. I think the Dust Devils kind of don't scale well in the higher tiers of the pit. Call the Ancient still does, the Earthquake still do. The HotA slamming on it is kind of, you know, required for the build also. But the Dust Devils themselves, I think, kind of they don't scale well. But in every other aspect of this game, you know, for the season-wise, boss ladders, you don't really need any more damage than you're dealing. Like I said, we get up into the billions when we push higher in the pit, just off the Dust Devils. And in 108, it still wasn't enough. You know, you need to be, you know, 500 billion to a trillion to farm comfortably in those tiers, which I'm doing right now with my Necro. My Necro speed farming 110s. I cleared a 122 again with suboptimal gear. I may do a Druid. I've played a lot of Druid in the past. Some on stream, some off stream. But my favorite Druid build they'll never bring back, which was the broken Bulwark, where you had infinite Bulwark bombs. That was like one of my favorite Druid builds, but I don't foresee that ever coming back. It was a bug. But let's not lie, you know, sometimes bugs are fun. Like Spiritborn last season. Everything pretty much just gets melted. What else could we show? I mean, do I have any boss mats on me? I got a few. I don't know if there's anything I need from Beast and Ice, but we can just go do Beast and Ice. And oh yeah, at the moment, like I was saying, my other witch power or other witch occult ring is on my Necro. I probably should just throw something in here, right? I mean, it doesn't look like it matters. Still capped out on everything. Still getting over this cold, so might have to be muting my mic if I'm coughing. You can hear my nose is probably sounding all stuffed up. I wasted my unstoppable, but so in boss fights, just go ahead and stomp before they even jump down, so you get some more earthquakes on the ground. You can do some shouts to get your, and that's it. Didn't even have to use the Call of the Ancients. They land in the earthquakes and they pretty much just die immediately. And that includes Lilith, Duriel, everybody. They die as soon as they touch any of the earthquakes. So the more you get out, they're taking all of that extra damage. And even your Call of the Ancients, you know, when one of them leaps, he spawns an earthquake, so it's just an extra earthquake. And if they do happen to survive, which they shouldn't, but when you're like leveling and getting stronger, if they end up surviving, just smack it with your HotA. And what I'm using to get my resource back, the kick, or I'm sorry, the ground stomp will give it to you, but I'm also using Chem and Loom for my runes. So anytime I evade, I get half of my resource back, basically. So, you know, you can just boom, boom. But your ground stomp is, you know, gonna put you to full first. And then, like I said, you can do some shouts. Stomp again. Okay, he survived that one. I'm not even gonna hit him with HotA. But we could have Call of the Ancients. We could have hit HotA, you know, blown up all of our earthquakes. It's a very easy farming build. Still not faster than the Necro. However, not as far or strong. Let me rephrase that. It's not as strong as the Necro build, but it's definitely faster for clearing dungeons, clearing the Undercity, clearing the root holds. I don't know what occult gem I would put on this character though, now that I took that other one off. It'll probably be Pointed Finger, because that's going to make my Call of the Ancients deal another multiplier on top of everything we already have. I'm going to sell all the uniques. And junk all the trash. Oh, we got another point. Sweet. And since we're here, we'll just go kill Varshan. But again, I just wanted to make this kind of impromptu. I don't want to keep it too long. I'm going to switch over to my Necro and just start a new stream for that. So if you guys want to see some pit pushing and some gear grinding on the Necro, I'll do that for a couple hours. See if we can't get at least to 140 in the pit, maybe even 145. And yeah, that's pretty much the build, the overview. I didn't go in depth as some other ones, but I'll just show you. I'm using Godslayer Crown until I get Harlequin Crest. It's very nice with the cooldown reduction. I got GA on. I had one that was all stats, but when I found this one, it's just giving me Call of the Ancients back faster. Man of the Mountain's Fury is required for this build. That's what's making your HotA, when it hits your earthquakes, deal crazy damage and explode in the fire. And then that chance for Earthquake to deal double damage you can't get anywhere else. Like even on gear, it's just chance for Earthquakes to cast twice, or you're putting on Heavy Hitter for more Earthquake damage. But I believe this is the only thing you can get for the chance to cast, or chance to deal double damage. Basic gloves for now. I went with earthquake size, damage to close enemies. These pants you get from Lord Zir, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Or yeah, I'm not sure where these pants come from. I think it's Lord Zir. But HotA call down, resistance to all, helps you hit your thresholds. The Rakanoth's Wake I'm only using right now for my resistance to all until I can figure out how to get max resistance to all without having to sacrifice anything else on my gear. Cooldown reduction is nice too. Definitely need a new mace, so I stopped masterworking this one, but strength max life, overpower, damage while berserking, chance for earthquakes to cast twice. You want to put your earthquake aspect on one of your two-handers so it doubles. I actually have a better one than that, so I might as well go ahead and cap his out. At least I think I have one that's maxed. I'm not 100%. And if I don't, my apologies. Okay, I don't. I'm still at 58. So it's the same. Yeah. But, so that one, and then again, I'm using Neo in tech. So avoiding health damage while you're in a fight. Just every 2 seconds you're casting a free earthquake, so you don't even have to worry about it. And then that way you can spam your HotA more often because you're having more earthquakes out there. For our one-handers, definitely recommend at least one mace because it's giving you more overpower damage for when your HotA hits, because your HotA is going to hit for billions as well. Chance for earthquakes to cast twice. The damage while berserking, you only need to reach a 300% threshold for the glyph node. So as long as you have 300%, which I'm way overcapped, I can drop some damage while berserking if I want. Anything over 300% is just additive damage. Excuse me, additive damage. And the damage with close, I think you only need about 400%. And the reason those thresholds are important is because in the Paragon board, there's two nodes. There's this one right here. So you need to get Blood Rage maxed out. And you only need 300% to get that one maxed out of your damage while berserking. And then there's this one over here, Force of Nature, where it's 40% of your damage versus close. So as long as you get to your bonus maxed out at 200, anything else on top of that is just more additive, which is fine. There's a lot of additive damage in this build. There's additive damage with the exploit. You know, after the multiplier hits its threshold, it's just all additive. And then the same with territorial. But going back to the gear, swords giving you more crit damage. So crits and overpowers together get those nice juicy orange numbers. I put heavy hitter on here. You can easily, I was farming with one that only had chance for earthquakes to cast twice. So you can rock, there we go. You can rock the one on the left. That's what I was using for the longest time. Only reason I switched to the one on the right is because it had 2 GAs. So I went with the one on the right and decided to try heavy hitter, and it seemed like it was doing a little bit more damage. But I'm losing my 100% chance for earthquakes to cast twice. So that's all personal preference or depending on the content that you're running. So like, if I run this and this sword, you know, we have, oh, not that one. Yeah, we have a 43% chance for earthquakes to cast twice, and then a 28%, and then basically a 25%. So we're almost at 100% right there. Actually, we're right at like 90 something percent. I'm not doing quick maths right now. I'm a little under the weather, but that's the loadout I was running. So that way, even when I just walked around, and you'll see it, I'll spawn 2 earthquakes. See, I just spawned 2 earthquakes just walking around. And it's 2 almost every time. There's 2. There's 2. If I stomp, you know, there's 2 more. And then you can just, bow. You can just smash them. So it's really fucking awesome for clearing, guys. Really cool. But if you want some more damage, you want to throw on heavy hitter. and then this one, you know, another heavy hitter. But now you're gonna see when I spawn an earthquake, it's like, so that one happened to spawn too, but it's only, yeah, that one didn't. So it's only like a 40% chance I have right now, or even less than that. We're not in battle, so we're not casting free. There they go. So sometimes it still will cast twice. It's just, you know, personal preference on if you want it every single time to cast twice. But for now, I have been running this setup, and it's been working fine. On the sword, the temper I have to damage, I brick this. It's not bad, it's just additive damage. I would rather have something else there. I was going for damage to close, but I used a scroll of restoration and still couldn't get that, you know, better. So I got stuck with it, but I'm keeping this because of the heavy hitter. That's one of the most important things to have, you know, hopefully triple crit. If you can get that triple crit, you'll be, you know, be set. And then another deviation I did from Rob's build is the Fierce Winds. I'm using it for now. It's just, like I said in the beginning, Dust Devils are getting bigger and they're dealing more damage per percent of their size increase. So it's just another 24% multiplier, because I don't have Dust Devil size anywhere else. Bold Chieftain is just giving us our cooldowns back faster, but you definitely want to get your Call of the Ancients cooldown on there. Hopefully you can get a triple crit when you're masterworking. And then Bull Kathos. Again, this amulet, I stopped masterworking it because I don't care about the additive damage affix right there. So I'm looking for a better one. Maybe even dropping the movement speed. These guys need to leave me alone for a second. I'm doing something. I'm busy. Even though we're not using leap, you could put leap on your build and take advantage of that, but the main thing is that we're getting the while standing in earthquakes, and for 4 seconds afterwards you're getting that damage reduction, and then they're also dealing increased damage. And like I said, with my current setup, I'm using, when I have a summoned witch power, that you get a barrier equal to 100% of your max life. So for this build, I would probably not recommend using Perinato unless you want to use a different, you know, occult gem, because I don't think this one isn't counting as a summon, whereas this one does. The Vengeful Spirit being summoned. I've actually had that thing save me in combination with the occult gem plenty of times in the pit. But yeah, still got a little bit more work to do on this Barb as far as pit pushing. Everything else in the game has become trivial. Even when you're in a group of 4 running around doing activities, you can split off by yourself and just absolutely wreck everything in the game, minus the higher tiers in the pit. But I do need to get back on my Necro so I can get another Resplendent Spark on the Necro, but we finished everything for the season that it has to offer for now, except hitting 150. Oh yeah, you guys also get a pet whenever you finish the season journey. You see them flying around up there. Everybody's running around with their birds now, their ravens. And yeah, that's pretty much, I don't need any of this. We sell unique, so we break everything else down. But yeah, that's going to do it for my Barb. I might just pull some stuff up. Oh, you can use Tam also in place of Neo. I just didn't like it because if you use Neo, it's getting you 100% increased size because it's overflowing. So every 2 seconds, you're getting an earthquake to spawn. With our chance for earthquakes to cast twice, we're getting 2 of them to spawn every 2 seconds. And every single time, those earthquakes are 100% bigger when they spawn that way. So that was the main reason I went with this route. If you use Tam, your non-channeled core skill is HotA. So when you slam your HotA, you slam it, you get 25 offering. This costs 50, so it's every 2 slams of HotA you get an earthquake. Well, the problem with that is it's not 100% bigger, so it's not hitting that radius. And the fact that you have to use Hammer of the Ancients twice just to get one Earthquake when I can just run around for 2 seconds, which is almost the same time it takes to cast HotA twice and get a much, much bigger Earthquake. So that's why I went with that route. I don't know if there's anything I need to put in my stash for my Necro when I start streaming, so I might just throw some random stuff in here that he might need. Maybe some boss mats, scroller restoration, blood. We can try to get better pants on the Necro. I got all my incenses set. Maybe a few root holds. Oh, you know what I think? Yeah. I should clear this out before I forget. Favorite, junk. But yeah, that's my HotA Quake Coda Barb build. I don't know what to really call it. Huge Ancients just seemed like a more simpler way to put it. And I'm going to end this stream and start a new one on my Necro, who, like I said, we're going to be pushing in the pit. Hopefully 240 is the goal. If I can hit 250 during stream, that'd be cool. But we're going to push at least, you know, we're going to be realistic, push for 240. I'm at 222 now. Or, I'm sorry, I said 240. 140 is what we're pushing. 150 is the highest. And I'm going to start trying to push him up there, get better gear. So I'm going to start a new stream for that, so it's, you know, Necro related. And it's not clickbait for Barb fans. But definitely scroll back through the video if you guys want to see more of how the gameplay operates on that Barb. Everything in the game's just easy with that build, and it's my speed farmer. Like, I literally have 2 characters that are able to do every content in the game, and he is much faster at clearing everything. The Undercity, even if you guys want to do the Citadel, the Dark Citadel, he's a lot faster at clearing everything. But when it comes to boss DPS and big damage numbers, he's almost getting to 1 trillion in damage. So maybe we can do that on stream. I think the highest numbers I've been seeing are like 600 billion. Whereas on my Barb, the highest numbers I've seen is like barely cracking 90 billion. So big discrepancy in power, but both are still really fun. But yeah, I'm going to start a new stream. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.